Good morning, everybody. I am in Barletta. I'm right here on the beach. El Mare Adriatico behind me. You can see up the coastline. You can't actually see it right now. It's a little bit cloudy, but there's a little piece of land that juts out. So when you look at the map of Italy and Puglia, coming down from Abruzzo, there's this little peninsula that kind of juts out. So that's right there. I forget what that's called. So I'm I think the east is over there. The sun sort of rose there, and then back here on the back of the building is the southern side. So I just put my towel out. They only give you one towel, these Airbnbs. I don't understand. So I put my towel out to dry here in the sun. So this is the south side. You can hear the church bells ringing. So that's Barletta Vecchia right there. All right, so I'm going to go explore a little bit. I want to first check out, there's a weekly market, they call it San Nicola, every day except Sunday. So I want to go check that out. It's on the street, see what they have. And then I'm going to walk over from there to Barletta Vecchia and just explore a little bit, find some lunch, maybe have a coffee. So it's just kind of relaxing. It's really nice to not have to walk from the train station and then, find my way around and get back on the train and go back. So I have 2 leisurely days here in Barletta. So let's see what we can find. I'm excited. I had a really nice experience this morning. I went to the supermarket. It's a little supermarket nearby. And I didn't get a card. I walked in. I felt like the guy was kind of mad at me because he had just mopped the floor. I said, "Buongiorno." He didn't say anything. He just scowled. And then I went up to the cashier. I saw a woman coming down the other aisle with her shopping cart full. So I tried to get there before she did. She just kind of pushed her way ahead of me. So she started putting her stuff on the conveyor belt or whatever it's called. And the guy, he was an old guy, pointed to me and said, "No, you next." And I said, "No, prego, you go ahead." He insisted. I only had 4 or 5 things. By the time I had finished paying, she was still putting her stuff on the conveyor belt. She still hadn't unloaded her cart. So it was really sweet of him to just recognize that, I only had a few things and I can take care of you before she's even done. Maybe he wanted to spend more time with her. All right. But anyway, it was nice. I've had just nice interactions with people here in Barletta so far. So I'm excited about exploring and seeing what else I uncover and what other experiences I have. All right, so I'll see you on the road, maybe when I get to the market and then when I get to the old town. The market, San Nicola. We got clothes, we got shoes and fish, all next to each other. It's a sunny day, it's warm, fall day. Lots of fresh produce, some bananas. Excuse me, I'm catching a little cold here. The latest fashions. I think I need to step up my fashion game here. And I don't think I'm going to buy anything, but I did see a pasticceria. Oops, I just stepped on something. So this is every day except Sunday. All right, so that was the market. If I were staying longer, I might buy something. Let's check out this panificio de Lucca. Let's see what this is. I thought they might have some tea towels here. That's why I wanted to come and check it out. I got really nice tea towels in Abruzzo in just a Tuesday market. They were cotton. The ones that I bought in Barletta Vecchia are poly cotton. They're not as nice. So that was it. Very nice street market for the people of Barletta. Christmas stuff. All right. So I just came into this old church. It's really interesting looking, really old. That yelling that you hear is a guy talking on his phone. Just the light in here is beautiful right now. He's not yelling, he's just talking. So that was the Chiesa di San Giacomo. It's really old, like 1096 or something like that. It was built on the site of a pagan temple. And I don't know, there's some history that I won't get into. But yeah, it's old. So I have reached il centro storico. This is where I was yesterday when my battery was dying, so I couldn't really film that much, but it's really nice with these Italian flags hanging. I mean, it's silly to say it, but reminds me of Little Italy. Wasn't that silly? But, you know, I haven't really seen Italian flags hanging like this on the streets anyplace else. That is City Hall right there. And then just some really old buildings, probably old palazzos. There are some palazzos that you can visit. So let's hope I have some better luck there than I did the palace in Caserta. I'm seeing lots of kebab places. Immigrants. And then up ahead of me is the Colossus of Barletta. Which is one of the largest bronze sculptures in the world. Parts of it are reconstruction. Apparently the cross was a new addition. He was initially holding a sword. So Caserta has some history with the Crusades. People would leave here. I'm not in Caserta. Barletta, sorry. Barletta has a history with the Crusades. People would leave from here to go to the Middle East, to the Holy Land. And I believe in the cathedral, this might be the cathedral here, there are some relics of things that they stole and brought back. I talked about the Crusades before, so I don't need to repeat any of that. So let's go look at this guy, and then we'll go inside the cathedral. So I think his legs and his hands are new, and also the cross that you can see. His tunic kind of has some holes in it. You know, the white people always insist on sitting right here, but sorry. It's pretty impressive, especially when you come around the corner. That's where I was yesterday. You come around the corner and see it for the first time. So, the Colossus of Barletta is an imposing bronze statue of the early Middle Ages, hollow on the inside and over 5 meters high. Probably represents an emperor, as deduced by his military uniform, his rich imperial robe, and the bejeweled crown on his head, trimmed with 2 strings of pearls. Nevertheless, his identity remains unknown. Some people thought he was Heraclius in the beginning. He's also been identified as Theodosius the Great, Valentinian the First, Marcian Honorius, Valentinian the Third, or Theodosius the Second. All right, so we don't really know. Even the events connected to the Colossus's arrival in Barletta are uncertain. According to tradition, in the course of the Fourth Crusade, the Venetians purloined the statue to Constantinople. I think that means from. On the journey back to Venice, the ship was wrecked in a storm along the shores of Barletta, where the bronze sculpture was deposited. All right, so a couple different theories about how he got here and who he is. All I can say is he's big. Sure if this is the main cathedral or not. This is Chiesa del Santo Sepolcro, the Church of Saint Sepulchre. I don't know. Sepulchre. I think the sepulchre is some religious item. I was a holy boy. An altar boy. I should know this. Anyway, this church erected in the 12th century, probably on a pre-existing construction of the 11th century. This church, together with the other buildings in Puglia, bears witness to that network of buildings, churches, hospices, hospitals spread throughout the district that was designed to receive the numerous travelers and pilgrims bound for the Holy Land in the period of the Crusades. All right, I think that's all you need to know. So let's take a look inside. And it looks really old. Heavy stone Some old frescoes here. It's beautiful. Some more old frescoes. Go across the street and check out these pasticceria. See if I can get a nice pastry and a coffee without any cigarette smoke. Sit inside because there were smokers out there. So it's a cute little place. Getting a cappuccino and a pasticciotto. They didn't really have much to choose from. So just a little pick-me-up before I continue my exploration of Barletta. Confusion, she was asking me something. So here's my cappuccino and pasticciotto. Let's see what's inside. Cream. And then this time I got a little whipped cream with some cherry. So they were very nice in that coffee shop. I'm finding the people here to be warmer. Is it possible? This pretty flower shop. Then in Bari, maybe because they're not overrun with tourists. So we had difficulties communicating. It was noisy, I couldn't hear, and they'd say something to me and I just had this blank look on my face. I knew what she was asking me. She was asking me if I was paying cash. I didn't get it. So then I asked her, how do you say that? And she repeated it again a few times until I got it. And I got some smiles from them. I told them I'm still learning. And they told me I'm doing a great job. So I'm liking Barletta. So I'm just gonna kind of wander here, not really sure where I'm going. Up ahead is the little courtyard where I had lunch yesterday. Just these beautiful old buildings. There's Bardullo's Osteria. Right there is where I had lunch yesterday. There's a bed and breakfast. Nazareth. Panzerotti Gourmet. It's very charming. It's really charming little place here. Came across a helpful sign. So the Cantina de la Sfida. La Sfida, or I think it's Desfida, was something that I read about first in Trani. There was some kind of a duel between Spanish and Italian knights. So I'll find out more about that. Chiesa San Andrea, and then the Chiesa di Nazareth. Heraclio is the Colossus, and Teatro Cucci are all that way. So I don't know if the Chiesa di Nazareth is the church that I went into. So I'm gonna go this way. That looks like a church there. This looks like a prefecture office. Nice piazza here. Bardulos is clearly marked. Lots of signs pointing to Bardulos. I will be back to Bardulos. There's a little marching band. The dog is not happy about the marching band. I don't know what that was about. So I just went to this panificio, La Sfida. This is La Cantina de la Sfida. So this is where it happened. The famous duel. So according to tradition, it is in this ancient cellar that the banquet was given during which the insult was made, causing the famous battle known as the Challenge of Barletta. That's the Desfida de Barletta. The facts are well known. In 1503, Spain and France competed for power over southern Italy. While their rulers, Louis XII and Ferdinand the Catholic, were trying to find an agreement, the two armies faced each other with fights and occasional clashes in Barletta, occupied at that time by the Spaniards. In one of these clashes, the Spaniards, guided by Don Diego de Mendoza, ended up capturing a group of Frenchmen, including Captain Charles de la Motte. It was precisely on this occasion that de Cordova organized the famous banquet to honor the French prisoners. All right. So they kind of had a little fight. They were probably drunk, and let me me stop the video and then I'll tell you what happened. Long story short, somehow the Italians got involved. So on February 13, 1503, 13 Italian knights, led by Ettore Fieramosca, faced the French knights on the battlefield between Andria and Corato and won the duel. This is the cantina where the drunken brawl began. It's fun. I'm sure it's very important, but I find it a little humorous. So I got a focaccia with mozzarella. Has a little bit of tomato on it, some oregano. There are a lot of these little things around, little snack rooms. The dogs here are so loud. I'm enjoying walking around the deserted streets of Barletta. I don't know if it's because it's Monday, it's early, everything's closed. You got babies crying, dogs barking. 2 restaurants are opening. This focaccia is really good. I don't know, why do some places become really popular and other places not? I find this so much more charming. I hate to compare, but it really is more charming than Barletta Vecchia. And focaccia, you got panzerotti, and I'm here at some type of ancient church. Look at that. All right, so I'm gonna check out this church. I forget the name. We have some lions here guarding, and some interesting sculpture here. Oh. All right, I forget the name of this church, but here are two old columns, which I think go back to the Greeks. So maybe when they say pagan temple, the other place was built on the site of a pagan temple. Maybe it was a Greek temple, the Greek gods, because the Greeks were here originally. And sorry, but I forget the name of this church. I did say the name earlier in the video, but I can't remember everything. And then across the street from the church is the castle. So these two always go together, the kings and the power of the church. Another sweet little piazza here with some restaurants that might open later or might be closed on Monday. All right, so I think I'm going to save the castle for tomorrow and just kind of wander back, hang out a little bit, and then find a place to eat lunch before going back to my Airbnb for a pizzolino. A pizzolino is a nap. It's beautiful. It's another little street to explore. Here's a good view of the church. Cattedrale di Santa Maria Maggiore. And there's a lot here, and it's actually obviously translated from Italian because some of the translation is a little bit funky. I think the most important thing here, it's located in the oldest part of the city, built on a pre-existing structure, a necropolis of the Daunian Roman age. Two basilica-type buildings of the 6th and 10th to 11th centuries. All right, so the oldest part of Barletta here, and it was built on top of another structure, which is common in a lot of places, especially in Latin America, where the churches were built on indigenous holy sites. Some souvenirs. Somebody driving backwards. A little mini market in this old building. And lots of places that just haven't opened yet. Here's an Osteria. All right, I'm gonna find a place to just kind of sit and relax. All right, this is Chiesa del Purgatorio, the Church of Purgatory. And it was built in the 18th century with the aim of supporting the devoutness for the repose of the souls of dead brothers and of spreading faith in purgatory, a place of purification while waiting for heavenly glory. So purgatory is kind of the waiting room for heaven. And Not really sure how you get out. People pray for you. This was part of the whole thing that spurred on the Reformation, because you had to pay indulgences to the church to pray for family members to get out of purgatory. And Martin Luther and other people thought that was kind of corrupt. So it's in Baroque style, and it looks like it's closed. So there you have it. All right, so I was just kind of thinking, well, I wish they had some benches here that you can kind of sit on, and lo and behold, it's not exactly a bench, but it is a little seat around a tree. So I'm sitting in front of the Church of St. Dominic, and it has a complicated history. It originally was built by the Knights Templar, who I guess were the guys that were like organizing the Crusades. I don't know. That seems like a strange organization. I know I ran into them in Rome. They sort of had this little thing on Palatine Hill. So it was the Church of St. Dominic. It was originally the Church of St. Mary Magdalene, organized by the Knights Templar, and then there was some fighting within the Catholic Church, and now it's the Church of St. Dominic. It was controlled by the Dominicans. So there it is behind me. All right, so it's about 12 o'clock now, and I'm gonna start looking for a place to eat. Might still be a little bit early for lunch, but let's see what we can find. A little parade of some sort. What's going on today? So I just checked Google Maps, and there's a restaurant down here that's open. Got good reviews. Ristorante 95. Restaurant 95. So I'm gonna go have a nice little lunch and then walk back to my Airbnb to take a pizzolino. I hope that means nap and not something else. So it's two little parades I saw today. What is today? So here is Ristorante 95. 95. Let's look at the menu. Questi primi piatti. Looks pretty good. I would probably be the first person here. I was gonna walk in, and they don't even have the chairs set up at the tables yet. So I don't want to be the first one. Make them put their chairs It's early. I think Italians don't eat lunch until 2. So I'll wait until 1. So I'm going to go back out to the main street now that I know where I'm going for lunch. And just kind of relax a little bit. After this morning of walking and all this traveling I've been doing, I'm getting tired. And I'm not super hungry because I had pasticciotto and focaccia. All right, now about the pasticciotto. I don't want any more pasticciotto. I'm finished. I heard the ones in Lecce are really good, but I really want a tetta di Monica. Tetta di Monica. That was so good. Or a really good cannoli. Other than that, I'm sticking to gelato. All right. So this is where I am. It's quiet here today. Right across from the cathedral again, or the church, whatever it is. All right, I'm kind of sweaty, so I'm just gonna sit, kind of unsweat myself before I go and have a nice little lunch. I'm gonna get the mussels with cime di rapa, some mussels with greens, and I think it comes with pasta. And you get to choose your own pasta. So I'll get that and a salad. That's enough for lunch. All right, there is a bench here. So I'm just gonna take a rest. I think they were eyeing this bench. Came back to the restaurant and now the door is closed and locked. On to plan B. Guess I'm just gonna have pizza. There were a couple restaurants down here. Let's see. So there's a little some tables set up over there in this little piazza, and I thought that they belonged to this restaurant, Osteria del Mare. Apparently it's a different thing, so I don't know where that restaurant's food comes from. They had a really good menu and it wasn't that expensive, so I came here and there's nobody here. The woman was on her phone. She didn't seem very happy to see me. I did just get a little smile from her. She asked me if I wanted wine, and I didn't understand, so she asked me in English, and then I got a little smile. The menu is not really what I want, so I'm getting something called Spezzate broken candles with Baccala Genovese. Let's see what it is. A lot of raw stuff on this menu, so like fresh seafood. So we'll see. I think Monday's not the day to come to Barletta. Everything seems to be closed. It's really dead here. All right, so my table's starting to fill up here. I have some focaccia. I already have focaccia. And then some nice rolls. Warm. Food is here. Candele, Spezzate, Spezzate, Genovese di Baccala. So these are broken candles. Is the pasta with cod, olives, that's saffron. Smells great. Yum. To be honest, not as good as what I had yesterday, but it's not bad. I like the pasta. So apparently these Candele Spezzate is a Neapolitan thing. All right, it's good. The more I eat it, the more I like it. I don't know why at first. Maybe I needed to mix it. One interesting thing is that some of the pasta is crunchy, which I kind of like. So the sauce, I don't know if it has any tomato in it. It's a little orange. It might be from just saffron. Carrot. Has onions. Olives. It's really nice. It's good. So I'm finishing with an Italian dessert here, a little cup of espresso, strong, with a half packet of sugar. It's good. The bread was really good. I was mopping up the sauce with the bread. It was so good. So I'll give this place an 8 for food. Atmosphere. The service warmed up after an initial cold front. I don't know why nobody's here. I don't understand the restaurant situation here. Nobody's eating lunch. Alright, so I'm going to end this video here. That was day 1 or day 1.5 in Barletta. I'm liking it here. I'll go back to my Airbnb, take a little rest, and then maybe go out for a walk later. Ciao for now. Bye.